There is a reason you feel what you feel. There is a reason certain people enter your life and leave scars that never seem to heal. There is a reason your body breaks down in the same places over and over. There is a reason betrayal finds you again, even when you swore you would never let it happen twice. And there is a reason you are reading these words right now. Because somewhere deep inside, you already know the truth. You know that nothing in your pain is random. Nothing in your suffering is punishment. It is all part of something much older than this lifetime. It is your soul calling you back to something you left unfinished. Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, spent his life helping people understand this truth. He did not read palms or predict the future for entertainment. He entered a state beyond the body, beyond the mind, and spoke directly from the soul level. And what he found there changed everything we thought we knew about pain, about relationships, and about why we suffer. He found that every single wound you carry today is connected to something you experienced before, not in this life, but in a life you do not remember, a life where you made promises, where you hurt others, where you were hurt, and where you walked away without resolving what needed to be healed. And now, in this life, those unfinished stories have returned, not to punish you, but to give you another chance. You see, the soul does not forget. It carries everything forward. Every vow you made, every betrayal you caused, every love you abandoned, every time you chose fear over truth. The soul records it all. And when you are born again, when you step into a new body and a new life, the soul brings those memories with it. Not as thoughts, not as pictures, but as feelings, as patterns, as the same kind of people showing up again and again, as the same kind of pain repeating in different forms. This is not bad luck. This is not a curse. This is karma. And karma is not punishment. Karma is balance. It is the soul's way of saying, you did not finish this story, so let us try again. Cayce called these repeating patterns karmic ties. He said that the people who hurt you the most are often the same souls you knew before. The lover who betrayed you may have been the spouse you abandoned in another life. The parent who rejected you may have been the child you neglected centuries ago. The friend who turned on you may have been the partner you deceived when the roles were reversed. This is why some relationships feel so intense. This is why some people trigger you in ways that make no sense. Because your soul recognizes them. Your soul remembers what happened between you, and it is trying to heal it now. But here is what most people do not understand.
The person who hurt you is not your enemy. They are your mirror. They are showing you the part of yourself you have refused to see. They are reflecting back the wound you buried so deep you forgot it was there. Cayce taught that every painful relationship is a spiritual assignment. It is not about them. It is about you. It is about what you did before, what you refused to forgive, what you still carry in your energy, and what you must now face in order to be free. Let me give you an example. A woman came to Cayce suffering from a terrible marriage. Her husband was cold, controlling, and emotionally absent. She asked Cayce why this was happening to her, and Cayce, in his trance state, went back into her soul records. He saw that in a previous life she had been a man, a wealthy man, a man who treated his wife like property, a man who controlled every part of her life, dismissed her feelings, and made her feel invisible. And now, in this life, she had returned as a woman, married to a man who was doing the exact same thing to her. Not because God wanted her to suffer, but because her soul needed to feel what she had caused. Her soul needed to understand the pain she had created. And only by feeling it herself could she learn compassion, forgiveness, and balance. This is the law of karma. What you give, you receive. What you cause, you experience. Not as punishment, but as teaching. The soul does not grow through comfort. It grows through contrast. It grows by feeling both sides of every story. And that is why your pain is not meaningless. It is not random. It is sacred. It is your soul's way of becoming whole. Now, some of you reading this are nodding, because you have always felt this. You have always known that your suffering was connected to something bigger. You have always sensed that the people in your life were not accidents, that the pain you carry has roots you cannot see. And you are right. Cayce confirmed what your soul has been whispering to you all along. You are not broken. You are not cursed. You are not unlucky. You are in the middle of a very old story, and this lifetime is your chance to rewrite the ending. But here is where it gets deeper. Karma does not only come from what you did to others, it also comes from what you believed about yourself. Cayce said that many of the illnesses, fears, and blocks we experience today are not caused by actions we took. They are caused by vows we made. Vows we spoke in moments of pain, anger, or despair. Vows like, I will never trust anyone again. I will never love again. I will never speak my truth. I will never be seen. These vows were made in past lives, but they are still active in this one. They are running in the background of your energy, like old programs.
And until you break them, they will keep creating the same results. Think about the patterns in your life. Think about the things that keep happening no matter how hard you try to change them. Maybe you always end up alone. Maybe you always attract people who abandon you. Maybe you always feel invisible, no matter how much you give. Maybe your body breaks down in the same place over and over. Maybe you lose your voice every time you try to speak your truth. These are not accidents. These are vows. Old promises you made in another life that are still controlling this one. Cayce worked with a man who suffered from chronic throat problems. Every few months, his voice would disappear. Doctors could not explain it. There was no infection, no damage, no reason. But Cayce went into his soul records and found the cause. In a past life, this man had been a religious leader, a priest. And in that life, he had used his voice to manipulate people. He had twisted spiritual teachings to control others, to gain power, and to silence those who questioned him. And in a moment of guilt and shame, right before he died, he made a vow. He said, I will never speak again. I will never use my voice to harm. And that vow, made hundreds of years ago, was still active. It was still blocking his throat in this lifetime. Not because he was bad, but because his soul was still holding on to that promise. Cayce told him the truth, and he told him how to break the vow. He said, you must forgive yourself. You must speak your truth now, not to control, but to heal. You must use your voice in service, not in fear. And when the man did this, when he began speaking from love instead of guilt, his throat healed. The pattern stopped. The vow was released. This is the power of awareness. This is the power of understanding where your pain really comes from. Now, some of you are carrying vows you do not even know about. Vows of poverty, vows of silence, vows of loneliness, vows of suffering. You made them in moments of trauma, and they became part of your soul's programming. And until you identify them and release them, they will keep recreating the same reality. This is why affirmations alone do not work. This is why positive thinking is not enough. Because you are not just fighting your thoughts, you are fighting promises your soul made lifetimes ago. But here is the good news. You can break them. You can rewrite them. You can speak new vows into your life. Cayce taught that the soul is always listening. And when you consciously declare a new truth, when you say, I release the vow of silence, I now speak my truth with love, the soul hears it. The energy shifts. The pattern begins to dissolve. This is not magic. This is spiritual law. What you declare with awareness and intention becomes your new reality. Let us go deeper now. Let us talk about the people in your life. The ones who hurt you, the ones who betrayed you, the ones who left you. Cayce said that these people are not villains. They are teachers. They are souls who agreed, before you were both born, to play a role in your healing. This does not mean what they did was right. It does not mean you have to forgive them or let them back into your life. It means that on a soul level, their actions were part of your spiritual curriculum. They triggered something in you that needed to come to the surface. They revealed a wound that was already there. And now you have a choice. You can stay stuck in the story of what they did to you, or you can ask the deeper question. What is this showing me about myself? This is what Cayce called the karmic mirror. Every person in your life, especially the ones who hurt you the most, is reflecting something back to you. If someone abandons you,
they are showing you where you abandoned yourself. If someone betrays you, they are showing you where you betrayed your own truth. If someone makes you feel invisible, they are showing you where you have been hiding. This is not about blaming yourself. This is not about saying you deserved it. This is about taking your power back. Because as long as you see yourself as a victim, you stay trapped in the cycle. But the moment you see yourself as a student, everything changes. Cayce worked with a woman who had been abused by multiple partners. She could not understand why this kept happening. She was kind, loving, and giving. So why did she keep attracting cruel men? Cayce looked into her soul history and found the answer. In a past life, she had been a man, a violent man, a man who had abused his wife and children. And in this life, her soul had chosen to experience the other side, not as punishment, but as balance. Her soul needed to feel what she had caused, and through that feeling, she would learn compassion, strength, and self-love. Cayce told her, "You are not being punished, you are being healed. And the moment you forgive yourself for what you did before, the moment you choose to honor yourself now, the pattern will stop." And it did. When she understood the karmic reason, when she stopped seeing herself as a victim and started seeing herself as a soul in training, everything shifted. She set boundaries. She walked away from toxic people. She began to love herself in a way she never had before, and the abuse stopped. Not because the world changed, but because she did. This is the truth Cayce wanted everyone to know. Your pain is not random. Your suffering is not meaningless.
Every single thing you are going through is part of your soul's journey toward balance. And the people who hurt you are not your enemies. They are your assignments. They are showing you what you came here to heal. So now the question becomes, what do you do with this information? How do you stop repeating the same painful patterns? How do you break free from karmic cycles that have been running for lifetimes? Cayce gave very clear guidance on this, and it all starts with one thing: awareness. You cannot heal what you do not see. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. So the first step is to stop running from your pain and start looking at it. Not with judgment, not with shame, but with curiosity. With the willingness to ask, what is this really about? When someone hurts you, instead of immediately reacting, pause. Ask yourself, why does this hurt so much? What old wound is this touching? Where have I felt this before? When you do this, you start to see the pattern. You start to see that the pain is not really about them. It is about something much older, something unresolved. And once you see it, you can heal it. Cayce also taught the power of forgiveness, but not the kind of forgiveness most people think of. He did not mean pretending everything is okay. He did not mean letting people hurt you again. He meant releasing the energetic cord that keeps you tied to the past. He meant choosing to stop carrying the weight of what happened. Because every time you replay the betrayal, every time you tell the story of how you were wronged, you feed the karmic tie. You keep it alive, and the pattern continues. True forgiveness is not about them. It is about you. It is about saying, I release this. I am no longer willing to carry this pain. I am no longer willing to let this define me. And when you do that, something miraculous happens. The energy shifts. The people involved either change or leave your life, and new opportunities, new relationships, new possibilities open up, because you are no longer vibrating at the frequency of the wound. You are vibrating at the frequency of freedom. But Cayce went even further. He said that in order to truly break a karmic cycle, you must do the opposite of what you did before. If you abandoned someone in a past life, you must now stay and commit. If you were cruel, you must now be kind. If you took, you must now give. If you were silent, you must now speak. This is how karma is balanced, not by suffering, but by choosing differently, by becoming the person your soul is calling you to be. Let me tell you about a man who came to Cayce with a terrible fear of water. He could not swim. He could not even stand near the ocean without feeling panic. Cayce went into his records and saw that in a past life, this man had been a ship captain. And in a moment of greed and cowardice, he had abandoned his crew during a storm. He had taken the only lifeboat and left them to drown. And the guilt from that decision had followed him into this life as a fear of water.
His soul was still carrying the weight of what he had done. Cayce told him the only way to heal was to face the water, to learn to swim, to help others in the water, to do the opposite of what he did before. And when the man did this, when he began teaching children to swim and volunteering as a lifeguard, his fear disappeared. The karma was balanced. The debt was paid. Not through suffering, but through service. This is the path Cayce laid out for all of us. Look at your pain, identify the pattern, ask what your soul is trying to heal, and then do the opposite of what created the wound in the first place. This is how you rewrite your story. This is how you break free. Now, let us talk about illness, because Cayce taught that many physical problems are also karmic. Not all of them, but many. He said that if you have chronic pain in a specific part of your body, if you have an illness that will not go away, if you have a condition that makes no sense to doctors, there is a good chance it is connected to a past life. Maybe you injured someone in that area. Maybe you misused that part of your body. Maybe you made a vow that is now manifesting as a physical block. Cayce worked with a woman who had severe back pain for years. No treatment helped. Cayce saw that in a past life, she had been a slave owner. She had whipped people across the back. And now, in this life, her soul was experiencing that same pain. Not as punishment, but as a way to develop empathy, a way to understand what she had caused. Cayce told her to meditate on forgiveness, to send healing energy to those she had hurt, to dedicate her life to helping others carry their burdens. And when she did, the pain began to fade, slowly at first, and then completely. Because the lesson was learned, the karma was cleared. Your body is not separate from your soul. It is a reflection of it. And when your soul is carrying guilt, shame, or unresolved energy from the past, your body will show it. This is why some illnesses do not respond to medicine, because they are not just physical, they are spiritual. And the only way to heal them is to go to the source, to heal the soul. Cayce also taught that some pain is not about what you did, it is about what was done to you, and your soul chose to experience it again in this life so you could finally release it. So you could finally say, I am not defined by this. I am not broken by this. I am stronger because of this.
This is why trauma survivors often become healers. This is why people who have suffered the most often have the deepest compassion, because their soul used the pain as fuel for transformation. So here is what I want you to understand. Right now, in this moment, you are exactly where your soul needs you to be. Every person in your life is there for a reason. Every challenge you are facing is part of your curriculum. Every wound you carry is an invitation to heal something ancient. And nothing, absolutely nothing, is random. You are not being punished. You are being refined. You are not broken. You are becoming. And the pain you feel is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that something is awakening in you. Your soul is calling you back to balance, back to truth, back to love. And the only way to get there is through the fire, through the mirror, through the lessons you have been avoiding for lifetimes. Edgar Cayce spent his life helping people see this. He helped them understand that suffering is not the end of the story. It is the beginning. It is the soul's way of saying, you are ready now. You are strong enough now. You are awake enough now to face what you could not face before. And when you do, when you stop running and start healing, everything changes. The people who hurt you lose their power. The patterns that trapped you begin to dissolve. The vows that blocked you are finally broken. And you step into the life your soul has been trying to give you all along. But this requires something from you. It requires you to take responsibility, not for what others did to you, but for how you respond, for what you choose to believe, for the energy you carry forward. Because karma is not just about what happened in the past. It is about what you are creating right now. Every thought, every word, every action. You are writing your future karma in this very moment. And if you want a different future, you must choose differently now. Cayce taught that the soul is always moving toward love, always moving toward balance, always moving toward wholeness. And every painful experience is a step on that path. Even the ones that feel unbearable, even the ones that make you want to give up. Because your soul does not give up. Your soul does not quit. Your soul knows exactly what it is doing, and it will keep bringing you back to the same lesson in different forms until you finally learn it, until you finally heal it,
until you finally become the person you are meant to be. So if you are in pain right now, if you are heartbroken, if you are betrayed, if you are exhausted, if you feel like you cannot go on, I want you to hear this. You are not alone. You are not forgotten, and you are not broken. You are in the middle of a sacred process.
A process that has been unfolding for lifetimes. And this moment, this pain, this struggle, is the exact thing your soul has been waiting for. Because this is where the healing happens. This is where the transformation begins. This is where you finally take back your power. Cayce said that the soul never wastes an experience. Every single thing you go through is stored as wisdom, as strength, as compassion. And one day you will look back on this moment and understand why it had to happen. You will see how it changed you, how it opened you, how it prepared you for something greater. And you will be grateful, not for the pain itself, but for what it taught you, for who it helped you become. So do not run from your pain. Do not numb it. Do not pretend it is not there. Face it. Feel it. Ask it what it is trying to teach you. And then, do the work. Forgive yourself. Forgive others. Break the vows. Release the patterns. Choose love over fear. Choose truth over comfort. Choose healing over hiding. Because that is what your soul is asking you to do. That is what your soul has been asking you to do for lifetimes. And when you do, when you finally step into your power, when you finally take responsibility for your own healing, everything shifts. The people around you change. The opportunities in your life expand. The fear that held you back dissolves. And you begin to live the life you were always meant to live. Not a life free of pain, but a life where pain has meaning, where suffering has purpose, where every challenge is a chance to grow, to heal, to become more of who you really are. This is the teaching of Edgar Cayce. This is the truth he spent his life sharing. And this is the truth your soul already knows. You are not here by accident. You are not suffering for no reason. You are here to heal. You are here to grow. You are here to balance the karma of lifetimes and step into the fullness of your soul's potential. And the pain you feel right now is not the end. It is the beginning. It is the doorway. It is the invitation. So take a breath. Look at your life. Look at the people who have hurt you. Look at the patterns that keep repeating. And instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me? What is my soul trying to heal?" And then listen, because the answer is already inside you. It has always been inside you. And the moment you are ready to hear it, everything will change. You are not a victim of your karma. You are a student of it. And every lesson, no matter how painful, is bringing you closer to the truth, closer to freedom, closer to love. So do not give up. Do not lose hope, because your soul knows exactly what it is doing, and it will never, ever abandon you. It will keep guiding you, keep teaching you, keep loving you, until you finally remember who you really are, until you finally heal what needs to be healed, until you finally step into the light you are always meant to carry. This is your path. This is your purpose. And this is your time. So trust it. Embrace it. And let your soul lead you home.